بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين.
Interpretation of the Holy Quran.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. In last program, we talked about Surat At-Takathur, chapter 102. We talked about verse 1 and 2. Please listen to them again.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألهاكم التكاثر حتى زرتم المقابر.
Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala says, Al-Hakum At-Takathur, abundance diverts you. Hatta zurtumul maqabir, until you come to the grave. In last program we said that Allah is warning us in this chapter about one attribute of the mankind. We have many attributes that we can get benefit of them if we control them. We have some desires, like for example, the desire, sexual desire. Sexual desire is a very good desire. If a person doesn't have such a desire, definitely he should go to the doctor, because we need marriage. We should marry, and we need such a desire. But we should control such a desire. Desire for taking the position, for seeking the degree, for example, for loving money, having ability, loving house, car, and abilities. They are wonderful. We should have such a desires. If a person says, naturally, I don't like, I don't love such a things, of course, there is something wrong. But we should control them. It means to make money, to have money is wonderful, but in a good way. Not to oppress the others to make money, to satisfy our desires. We should control our desires, not to kill the desires. In this chapter, Allah is talking about takathur. Takathur means greediness. In Quran, there are several verses that Allah is talking about the greediness of people. In last program, we talked about one verse of Quran that Allah says in behalf of the followers of Moses, when they asked Moses to ask your Lord to send us different kinds of food. It means they have a greediness in food. Another example in Quran is greediness in having the long age. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala says, وَلَنُحْيَنَّهُمْ, about some people. When he talks about them, he says, وَلَنُحْيِيَنَّهُمْ حَيَاءَ أَحْرَصَ النَّاسِ عَلَىٰ حَيَاةٍ وَمِنَ الَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا. You will find these people most eager to live, even compared with those who associate others with God. It means even comparing to these people who have wish and have such attributes that they ask Allah to give them long age, but these people, really, they are very greedy. They have such attributes that they ask more and more, even comparing to these people, those who associate others with God, mushrikeen. And we will understand that Allah criticized these people. Allah wants to say that even to stay in this world, you should understand that from the beginning, you came for a short time with different purpose. We are here to do something for the day after, to improve ourselves, to improve others, to take care of other people plus ourselves. This is not the goal. Ultimate goal is the judgment day. We are here temporarily to do something for the day after. So we should not look at this world as a goal and to wish to stay here forever. This is a greediness in long age. Sometimes Allah Ta'ala is talking about takathur in Quran. It means greediness in having money and property. Some people want more and more. At the beginning, maybe they say, this amount of the money is enough for us. A house, a car is enough. But little by little, as much as Allah will give them, they will ask more and more. Brothers, sisters, we should check ourselves. We should work to make money, but not to be greedy. Greedy, it means he works from early morning until late night, 7/24. He's not ready to take care of his wife, his children, his parents, even himself, to make money more and more. But when it comes to spend the money, he's not ready to spend. This is greediness. Allah Ta'ala talks about some people that have such attributes regarding to their money, property, wealth. And he says, أَتَبْنُونَ بِكُلِّ رِيءٍ آيَةً تَعْبَسُونَ. Allah will criticize these people in chapter Shu'ara, verse 128, that what do these people want? What do they want? They want to make a place for themselves, a house everywhere. Do you build mountains on every high place just to amuse yourselves and show off? Do you want to build different places, any place, only to show off to others, to tell them that yes, I have? Allah will say, you should understand that even if you have something, this is something that Allah has offered you. This is a blessing of Allah. The ability that we have, the money that we have, the position that we have, all belongs to Allah. He has given to us, and any minutes He can take them back. Another one of takathur and greediness is the greediness in sexual appetite. Sexual appetite, it means all of us, we have the desires, sexual desires, but one person will pay a lot of attention and he is ready to fulfill and satisfy his desires in any way, regardless that this is allowed or not. Islamically or morally, it is accepted or not, he doesn't care. He wants to satisfy his desires, and this is something that is condemned in Islam and any other religion. The moral will refuse and condemn that. Allah Ta'ala says, وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِفُرُوجِهِمْ حَافِظُونَ, and who guard their modesty. It means private part. It means there are certain people that Allah will praise these people. These people will take care of themselves. They are ready to satisfy their desires only with their wives, their spouse, their husband, nothing more. We have desires, and Islam allowed us to fulfill our desires, but in certain way. We are not free to do whatever we want. This is a major difference between mankind and animals. Animals have a sexual appetite, sexual desires, but we know that nobody will take them to the court that why did you satisfy your desires in such a way? Because they have no intellect. only desires, not intellect. But the mankind, of course, we should satisfy in a certain way. Otherwise, is passing the limit. And when we pass the limit, of course, we will be criticized and we will be taken to the court and condemned and sometimes prison. So Allah Ta'ala says, be careful about these attributes, greediness in sexual appetite. In the same verse, when Allah Ta'ala continues, He says, وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِفُرُوجِهِمْ حَافِظُونَ إِلَّا عَلَى أَزْوَاجِهِمْ أَوْ مَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُهُمْ فَإِنَّهُمْ غَيْرُ مَلُومِينَ. In chapter Mu'minun, verse 6, Allah Ta'ala says, these people, good people, religious people, are those who guard their modesty, unless and except before their mates or those whom their right hands possess. Of course, this is not for today, but in the old time, at the beginning of Islam, it was allowed. And inshallah, in one program, I'm going to talk about that. But at the moment, only the exception is between husband and wife, nothing else. Hand possess, for they surely are not blamed. It means if this desire will be satisfied only between husband and wife, of course, nobody blames them. We will be blamed when we are not controlling these desires. We are ready to fulfill in any price and not to consider any consequences of that. We should think about the consequences. We should not pass the limit. Allah Ta'ala says, فَمَنِ ابْتَغَى وَرَاءَ ذَلِكَ, in the verse 7 in the same chapter, فَمَنِ ابْتَغَى وَرَاءَ ذَلِكَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْعَادُونَ. It means, but whoever seeks to go beyond that, it means to pass the limit. The limit was the marriage, husband and wife. There are they that exceed the limits and distraction from the real issues. If we pass the limit, this is something that in Islam and religion is considered as the oppressing the others. When Allah Ta'ala says, Al-Hakum At-Takathur, Al-Hakum, it means divert you. Be very careful. The Takathur, it means to be greedy about anything. Money, property, sometimes even to have children, a lot to show off to the others only. This is something that is condemned in Islam, and Allah says you have real issues, something that you are created for that, and that is to improve yourself and to take care of your soul. Try that greediness in anything, food, desires, positions, money, children, will not divert you. It means will not keep you busy and far from the real issue, and that is piety. Then Allah Ta'ala says, حَتَّى زُرْتُمُ الْمَقَابِرِ. They divert you, the takathur, greediness, until you will visit the grave. It means sometimes we have such attributes to such a level that we say how many people you are and how many people we are. Your population and our population, they want to show off. Oh, our number is, for example, 10 millions. What about your numbers? Then they started, and these verses is revealed about the story between two different tribes when they started to fight each other, and they were proud of themselves that this is our population. One tribe counted themselves, and when they faced shortages, they went to the graves, to the cemetery, and started to count their body, the dead people. How many people from our tribe have been buried? And they add to their numbers, and after that they will say, okay, our number have been increased. Allah says, see the level. If we don't control such attributes, we will reach to such a level to count the dead people and to show off to such a population. Another greediness, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala is talking about that in Quran when He says, اعلموا أنما الحياة الدنيا لعب ولهو. It means sometimes greediness is regarding to population. And He says, وتفاخر بينكم وتكاثر في الأموال والأولاد. Oh, people know that the life of this world is only play and amusement. وتفاخر بينكم وتكاثر في الأموال والأولاد. Decoration and showing off among yourselves, and greed for increasing the number of children and amounts of wealth. Be careful. If we don't control, we will get to such a level. We ask Allah to help us to get benefit from our money, our position, our children. It means to use them in the way that Allah loves, not to satisfy our desires in any way and to pass the limit. Thank you very much for watching. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.